I need to ask you a question before we begin. A simple question, yet one that could completely alter your perspective on the American job market. Have you ever considered that while you're working hard, waking up early, battling traffic, dealing with a difficult boss, sacrificing weekends with family, and earning a salary that barely covers your bills, there exists a list of professions in the United States that pay exceptionally well, which very few people know about, and that could entirely transform your life path? Well, it does. This list has always been there. And today, I'm going to reveal it to you from beginning to end, without any fluffs, without beating around the bush, without hiding anything at all. My name is Host, and in this video, I'm going to show you 10 American careers that offer impressive salaries and that the vast majority of people simply overlook, not because they are impossible or because they require decades of study, but simply because no one talks about them. The mainstream media always highlights doctors, lawyers, and software engineers that everyone already knows. Television shows consistently feature the same old professions. Schools always teach the same paths. Your parents probably told you the options were medicine, law, engineering, or accounting. But the American job market is so much larger than that short list. Today, we're going to dive deep into what few dare to research. Before we continue, let me share something very important. The careers I'm about to present have been researched based on real data from the American market. The figures you'll see are verified salary averages, sourced from agencies like the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, one of the most reliable and respected employment data sources in the world. These are not empty promises. They are not figures pulled out of thin air. They are concrete, verifiable facts that will leave you in awe. What's even more astonishing in all of this, it's not just the salary sizes, although they are indeed impressive and significantly above what most people earn today. The most surprising aspect is that these careers are available right now, at this very moment you're watching this video. The American job market has open positions with a growing demand, and in many of these fields, there is a documented and concerning scarcity of qualified professionals. This means that those who choose to enter these fields today have tremendous bargaining power and a competitive edge that will last not just for months, but for many years to come. I also need to mention that I took great care in organizing this list in a very special way. We'll start with professions that pay well but are still in a phase of rapid growth, and we'll progress to those that offer absolutely astonishing salaries, making you question why you've never heard of them before. Because I want you to feel this progression. I want you to see with your own eyes that the American market hides incredible opportunities in places that no one thinks to look. But pay close attention to this part, because it's too important to simply overlook. 95% of people who watch this type of video leave without taking any concrete action. They are impressed, maybe do a little research, get excited for a few hours, and then return exactly to where they were. Don't be that person. Don't become just another statistic, because the opportunities I will show you here are absolutely real, and those who act quickly, who make decisions ahead of the majority, will be far ahead. The market waits for no one. Positions don't stay open indefinitely. The demand exists now, and you can take advantage of it. So grab a piece of paper, take a pen, keep your notes app open on your phone, or open a new tab on your computer because you'll want to jot down every detail of what's coming next. Hold on to this list dearly, as it might just be the turning point you didn't know you were looking for. Now let's embark on this journey together. Here we go. Career 1: Prosthetics and Orthotics Technician, the first career that very few people know about, and even fewer consider as a real possibility, is that of a prosthetics and orthotics technician. Understand the name sounds overly technical and seems distant from the reality of most people. But wait a moment before you judge, because what this professional does and the income they generate will truly surprise you. The prosthetics and orthotics technician is responsible for designing, customizing, adjusting, and managing devices that assist patients with physical limitations in regaining independence, mobility, and quality of life. We're talking about ultra-modern artificial limbs, prosthetic arms, and legs that can now be controlled directly by signals from the patient's nervous system. We're discussing highly personalized orthopedic braces that allow children with motor conditions to walk for the first time. This is a profession that literally restores freedom to individuals. And the American market offers excellent compensation for this impactful and specialized work. The average salary in the United States for this role starts at $45,000 a year for newcomers, which is significantly above the average salary for workers without advanced degrees. With a few years of practical experience and specialization, this figure easily rises to around $75,000 annually. The most experienced specialists, those working with cutting-edge technology such as bionic prosthetics linked to neural systems, artificial limbs with touch and pressure sensors, and state-of-the-art devices developed in collaboration with major medical centers and universities, can comfortably exceed the $100,000 per year mark. And there's an aspect that makes this career even more powerful than the salaries. Suggests the demand for these professionals is growing above the market average, and projections for the coming years are exceptionally positive. With the rapidly aging American population, one of the oldest in the developed world, and the ongoing advancements in healthcare technologies that were once pure science fiction but are now accessible realities, the job market for this sector is expected to grow significantly in the coming decades. Those entering this field now are at the beginning of a massive wave that will continue to expand. It's the kind of opportunity that 10 or 15 years down the line, people will look back and say with conviction, should have gotten into this sooner. Don't let this moment slip away. Career 2: Geographic Information Systems Analyst. The second career on our list is for those who enjoy data, maps, technology, and solving complex problems simultaneously, and who never at any point imagined that this specific combination could yield such a substantial salary and a solid career. The GIS Analyst, short for Geographic Information Systems, is the professional who works with analyzing, interpreting, and visualizing geographic data to assist businesses, governments, and organizations of all types in making smart, strategic, and evidence-based decisions. Consider this for a moment. Every company meeting to determine where to open a new facility, construct a new highway or railway, plan a public safety operation, manage and respond to natural disasters like hurricanes and floods, efficiently distribute healthcare services in remote areas, map natural resources for responsible exploration, or analyze consumption patterns by geographic region. Every one of these decisions, whether directly or indirectly, involves a GIS specialist. In the United States, these professionals are highly sought after and well compensated. The average salary starts around $55,000 a year for those just entering the field, without significant prior experience. Analysts with a few years of experience and relevant projects in their portfolio earn between $75,000 and $90,000 annually. Senior specialists, those working with major corporations in the private sector or government agencies such as NASA, the Department of Defense, the U.S. Geological Survey, or tech giants like Google and Apple, can easily reach salaries of $110,000, $120,000 or more each year. What is particularly remarkable about this career, and what very few people realize before entering it, is the rare combination of sophisticated technical skills and tangible, visible impact on the world around us. You literally shape how important decisions are made. Decisions that affect cities, states, entire countries. Decisions that can save lives. And few professions offer this level of compensation, market stability, and growth potential. Career 3: Environmental Scientist. The third profession I'm want to introduce is that of an environmental scientist. Understand that, depending on your upbringing and context, this term may seem small, undervalued, or poorly compensated. It's often viewed as a career chosen out of passion, yet not providing enough income for a comfortable life. However, in the United States, particularly now in today's global context, the situation is entirely the opposite, and the numbers unequivocally support this. With the increasing and urgent demand for corporate sustainability, the new and strict environmental regulations being rapidly implemented by the U.S. government, the frantic race among major American and multinational corporations to meet ambitious net zero goals, and the pressure from investors and consumers for more responsible business practices, the environmental science professional has become an absolutely essential, irreplaceable asset in today's American job market. Entry-level salaries in this field hover around $50,000 a year for those starting their careers, with specialization in specific and strategic niches such as water quality and treatment, hazardous industrial waste management, climate impact monitoring and mitigation, contaminated soil analysis, or environmental consulting for licensing processes. And with a few years of proven experience, this figure can rise to between $70,000 and $95,000 annually. Highly qualified experts working as environmental consultants for major companies in the energy, mining, construction, and infrastructure sectors can easily earn over $120,000 a year, often surpassing that mark. The growth trend in this career stands as one of the most robust, reliable, and predictable in the entire American market. Environmental demands are escalating. There's no turning back, which indicates that the need for these professionals is also steadily increasing. Those entering this field today are positioning themselves in one of the sectors expected to expand the most over the next 15, 20, or 30 years. It's a long-term bet, but an incredibly secure one. Hey, before we dive into the next careers, I'll need to ask you for a simple favor that won't cost you anything. If you're enjoying this content and you believe this information could change someone's life, please share this video right now. Send it to that friend contemplating a career change but unsure of where to start, to that family member unhappy with their current salary, to anyone you know who needs to see this information. And of course, subscribe to the Salary Uncovered channel, because we provide this kind of content every week, non-stop. Now, brace yourself, because what's coming next is even better. Career for occupational health and safety specialist. The fourth career is one of the most underrated, least discussed, and often overlooked in conversations about the American job market. Yet, it offers remarkable stability, a constant demand, and better pay proportional to the required education level. An occupational health and safety specialist is responsible for ensuring that workplaces are safe for all employees and that companies comply with federal and state regulations mandated by OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration in the United States. Every major American company, from factories to oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico, from hospitals to construction firms erecting skyscrapers, from airlines to supermarket chains, and from chemical industries to nuclear power plants, is legally required to employ this professional or hire specialized consultants to ensure compliance with safety standards. And the market compensates exceptionally well for this. The average starting salary in this field is $50,000 a year for newcomers. With a few years of practical experience and recognized certifications in the field, such as the CSP certification, which stands for Certified Safety Professional, issued by the Board of Certified Safety Professionals in the United States, this figure consistently rises to between $75,000 and $90,000 annually. Senior specialists working in high-risk sectors, such as coal and precious minerals mining, oil and natural gas extraction, long-distance commercial aviation, or the chemical and petrochemical industries, can earn between $100,000 and $130,000 a year regularly. What many people overlook when considering this career is that it boasts one of the highest job satisfaction rates among all the hundreds of occupations tracked in the United States. Because at the end of each workday, you know with absolute certainty that what you did protected real people, prevented actual accidents, saved genuine lives, and few professions can offer such a sense of purpose along with a substantial salary. Career 5: Medical Coding and Billing Specialist. The fifth career is for those who appreciate meticulous organization, precision with details, and work that requires focus, but who don't necessarily want to work directly with patients, avoid the pressure of an emergency room, and steer clear of the emotional toll from direct contact with critical health situations. Yet, they still wish to be part of the vast, powerful, and extremely lucrative healthcare ecosystem in the United States. The medical coding and billing specialist is the expert who translates clinical procedures performed in offices, hospitals, and clinics into very specific alphanumeric codes used by the American healthcare system for insurers to process reimbursements and payments for services rendered. At first glance, it might seem quite technical and possibly a dull bureaucratic job. However, the American market has an almost irrational affection for this professional, and the salary figures clearly confirm this. Starting salaries hover around $40,000 a year for those venturing without prior experience. With the right certifications recognized in the field, such as the CPC certification, which stands for Certified Professional Coder, issued by AAPC, the American Academy of Professional Coders, this number quickly rises to between $60,000 and $80,000 annually. Specialists in coding highly complex procedures, such as multi-stage oncological surgeries, intricate cardiological interventions, specialized neurological procedures, or organ transplants, can consistently earn over $90,000 a year. There's an utterly transformative detail that completely shifts the perspective on this career. A significant portion of this work, in fact, the vast majority of it, can be done entirely remotely, from anywhere in the world with a good internet connection. Thus, with the right certifications and proven experience, you can work for the American market, earning U.S. dollars without needing to be physically present in the United States. This opens a window of opportunities that virtually no other career offers so easily, with minimal initial investment and such rapid potential for advancement. Career 7 Commercial Property Appraiser. The sixth career on our list is among the most lucrative of all, and also one that very few people have ever considered as a real option. The commercial property appraiser is the professional who determines, based on rigorous methodologies and detailed market analyses, the fair market value of properties such as corporate office buildings, shopping malls and commercial centers, logistics and industrial warehouses, hotels and resorts, multi-unit residential complexes, private hospitals and clinics, and any other type of property intended for commercial or investment purposes. Every commercial real estate transaction in the United States, and we are talking about a market that moves trillions of dollars each year, without exaggeration, literally trillions, requires a certified and accredited appraiser to be legally finalized. Banks demand appraisals to approve financing. Investors require appraisals before any acquisition. Divorce and estate processes necessitate evaluations. Legal disputes call for appraisals. The demand for this professional is constant, uninterrupted, and very well compensated. The starting salary in this field is $55,000 annually for those beginning as appraisal assistants, learning the techniques and methods of the profession. With several years of solid experience in the market and obtaining a full certified appraiser license, a process that demands hours of supervised work, specific exams, and registration with state regulatory bodies, this figure significantly rises to between $80,000 and $110,000 per year. The most experienced and specialized appraisers, those working with high-value property skyscrapers in the financial districts of New York or Chicago, luxury resorts in elite tourist destinations, large-scale industrial complexes, data centers, and corporate campuses of tech giants, can easily earn upwards of $150,000, even $160,000 annually. Another aspect of this career that makes it an even more powerful opportunity is that many of these professionals work independently or as freelance consultants, allowing for the very real and concrete possibility of starting their own appraisal business, hiring other appraisers, and exponentially increasing these figures over time. Is a career that can evolve into a business. Career 7 Actuary. The seventh career on our list is for those with strong skills in mathematics, statistics, and quantitative modeling, and who have absolutely no fear of working with complex data, high-risk hypothetical scenarios, and decisions involving billions of dollars. The actuary is the professional who calculates, models, and quantifies financial risks for insurance companies of all kinds, investment banks, pension funds, health plans, and government institutions. This is one of the highest-paying, most stable, and most respected professions, consistently ranking well in the best careers lists in the United States. The vast majority of people in the general market, an overwhelming majority, are unaware that it exists with such strength, demand, and compensation. The starting salary for an actuary in the United States is $65,000 per year right at the very beginning of their career, before any additional certification. And here begins something very interesting. The actuary career has a salary progression system directly linked to professional certifications, which are extremely rigorous exams highly valued by the market. After the initial certifications, salaries quickly rise to between $90,000 and $120,000 annually. Actuaries with all certifications completed a full process that can take 6 to 10 years of dedicated study and years of experience in specific niches like life insurance, health insurance, reinsurance, pension funds, or property insurance, earn between $150,000 and $200,000 per year, or significantly more depending on the sector and the company. And there's a fact that hardly anyone mentions when discussing this career, a fact that completely alters the perception of those considering entering it. The unemployment rate for actuaries in the United States is historically very low, almost non-existent compared to the national average of any sector in the economy. This means that professionals entering this field with the right certifications rarely, if ever, find themselves without job opportunities. It's a career that combines high salary with extremely high stability, and this specific combination is exceptionally rare, extremely valuable, and very difficult to find in any other profession. Dude, what an incredible list so far, right? And we haven't even reached the most surprising careers yet. But before we move on, I want to ask you a quick question. Out of the 7 careers MVE presented so far, which one caught your attention the most? Which one surprised you the most? Just drop the number in the comments from 1 to 7. It's that simple. I really want to know which one piqued your interest, because it helps me create even more personalized and relevant content for you. Now, hold your breath, because what comes next will astonish you in ways you didn't expect. Career 8, Occupational Therapist. The 8th career on our list is that of the occupational therapist. I know this title might sound familiar to some, perhaps less exotic than the previous ones. However, what most people rarely take the time to genuinely research is how much this professional earns in the United States and how genuinely valued, needed, and generously compensated this work is in the American market. An occupational therapist is the professional who assists patients of all ages and conditions, individuals who have suffered severe physical injuries from accidents, those with progressive neurological diseases like Parkinson's or stroke aftermath, children with developmental conditions such as autism or cerebral palsy, war veterans with amputations or complex physical traumas, and people recovering from major orthopedic surgeries to regain or develop the motor, cognitive, and social skills required for essential daily activities. These are skills that most of us perform on autopilot: putting on a shirt, making coffee, catching a bus, sending a message. But for these individuals, they represent monumental achievements. It's a deeply human, profoundly meaningful job, and it's very well compensated in the United States. The national average salary for occupational therapists starts at $60,000 a year for recent graduates, still without specialized clinical experience. With several years of practical experience in real clinical settings, this figure consistently rises to between $85,000 and $100,000 annually. Therapists working in highly specialized units such as exclusive rehabilitation centers for war veterans, pediatric ICUs in tertiary hospitals, high-complexity neurorehabilitation programs for stroke survivors, or clinics specializing in childhood developmental disorders can regularly earn over $120,000 a year. And there's a crucial strategic detail that makes this career a unique and urgent opportunity. There is a very real, well-documented, and concerning shortage of these professionals in various regions of the United States, especially in rural areas and low-income communities that desperately need this service. This means that many employers, hospitals, clinics, rehabilitation centers, state health systems are offering generous hiring bonuses that can reach into the tens of thousands of dollars, comprehensive health plans for the entire family, housing assistance, and other extraordinary benefits to attract and retain these professionals. If you've made it this far, it's clear you're taking this content seriously and you deserve recognition for that. Individuals who dedicate their time and attention to learning about genuine opportunities are precisely the kind of people want to gather here on the channel. So, now is the moment. Click the subscribe button for Salary Uncovered right now. Activate the notification bell so you won't miss a single video. Each week, we bring you content like this, uncovering careers, salaries, and opportunities that the world seldom shares for free. You don't want to miss out. Click now. Career 9. Food scientist. The 9th career on our list is one of the most surprising of all, and I'm absolutely certain that most people watching this video have never, at any point in their lives, considered this possibility as a real, well-structured, and extremely well-paid career in the United States. When people hear the term food scientist, the mental image that instantly forms in the minds of most is of someone in a small kitchen, wearing a white apron, tasting pie recipes and jotting down notes in a little notebook. This might be one aspect of the job. However, the actual documented reality of this profession in the United States is completely, radically different from that image. Food scientists in the U.S. work for some of the largest and most powerful companies on the planet: Nestle, PepsiCo, Kraft Heinz, Tyson Foods, General Mills, Conagra Brands, Mondelez International, Cargill, along with hundreds of other national and international corporations, food tech startups, and private research laboratories. The work of these professionals includes developing new products from scratch, creating from nothing what will be on supermarket shelves in the next 5 years, ensuring food safety on a large scale for products that reach millions of consumers, crafting innovative solutions to extend the shelf life of food without compromising nutritional quality, developing protein substitutes for the growing plant-based food market, adapting products to different regulations, cultures, and market preferences around the globe. The entry-level salary in this field hovers around $50,000 per year for those just starting their careers. With solid experience and strategic specialization in high-demand niches, particularly in regulatory food safety, the development of functional products with proven health benefits, or next-generation food processing and preservation technologies, this figure significantly increases to between $80,000 and $100,000 annually. Senior food scientists working in research and development departments of major corporations, the so-called R&D departments, can earn between $110,000 and $140,000 a year with regularity and consistency. Moreover, there's another aspect that almost no one considers before stepping into this field, a factor that multiplies the available opportunities. Food scientists who specialize specifically in developing product lines for the health, wellness, and functional nutrition market, a sector generating hundreds of billions of dollars annually in the United States and experiencing rapid growth, driven by new generations of conscious consumers, are among the highest paid, most sought after, and most valued in the entire American food industry. If you have a background in biology, chemistry, food engineering, nutrition, or any related life sciences field, this might be exactly the window of opportunity you've been waiting to discover. The door is open. Career 10. Corporate Risk Management Specialist. Finally, we arrive at the 10th and final career on our list, and we intentionally saved this one for last for a very specific, calculated reason. It is undoubtedly the most overlooked by the general public among all 10 presented today. The most ignored, the most underestimated, the most invisible to those not immersed in the American corporate world. Paradoxically, it is also one of the most strategic, stable, and well-compensated roles in the entire job market in the United States. A corporate risk management specialist is the professional who identifies, analyzes, quantifies, categorizes, and develops concrete strategies to mitigate risks threatening a company's financial, operational, and reputational health. But it's crucial to understand one key aspect here. We're not just talking about the risk of theft, fraud, or physical security, although those may be part of the job scope, depending on the context. We're discussing something much broader, much more complex, and far more valued in the market. We are addressing financial risks that can lead a company to lose billions in a single quarter. operational risks that can halt a multinational's entire production chain, legal risks that may result in million-dollar lawsuits or the loss of operational licenses, cyber risks that can expose confidential data of millions of customers, reputational risks that can destroy decades of brand building in mere days, strategic risks that can render a business model obsolete overnight, and regulatory risks that could lead to billion-dollar fines from government agencies. Every major American corporation, banks of all sizes, life and health insurers, retail chains with thousands of outlets, global tech firms, hospitals and health systems, construction companies and developers, airlines and utility companies urgently needs this professional. They pay exceptionally well for their expertise, as the financial and reputational cost of lacking a competent risk manager can be absolutely devastating, and the historical examples of companies ruined by poor risk management are numerous and painful. The entry-level salary for a risk management specialist in the United States starts at $60,000 annually. With proven concrete experience and recognized professional certifications highly valued in the market, such as the CRMP, Certified Risk Management Professional, or the ARM certification, Associate in Risk Management, issued by the institutes, this figure significantly and consistently rises to between $90,000 and $120,000 per year. Senior specialists, particularly those building their careers in the American financial sector at investment banks like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, large insurers, or hedge funds, can earn between $150,000 and $180,000 annually. In specific high-level leadership positions, such as Chief Risk Officer at large corporations, this amount easily surpasses the $200,000 to $250,000 mark per year or more, when including bonuses and profit sharing. What makes this career even more powerful, versatile, and strategic than any other on this list is a unique trait: a skilled and certified risk manager can operate in virtually any sector of the American economy. Healthcare, technology, retail, finance, federal government, renewable energy, large-scale agribusiness, legal sector, aviation, logistics, and transportation all urgently and consistently need this professional. This translates to truly unwavering job stability, significant salary negotiation power, and growth opportunities that few other professions in the world can consistently offer over time. Additionally, there's another aspect of this career that few consider when evaluating options, regardless of the economic cycle: rapid growth, deep recession, disruptive digital transformation, or unexpected global crisis. The risk manager becomes even more valuable, sought after, and indispensable for companies. It's precisely during times of instability, uncertainty, and extreme pressure that businesses require someone capable of identifying, anticipating, and neutralizing threats before they escalate into irreversible financial disasters. This profession thrives both in good times and difficult ones, and this specific characteristic is extremely rare and immensely valuable in the job market. And thus we reach the end of today's list. 10 real careers, 10 concrete and documented opportunities, 10 fully open doors in the American market that the vast majority of people go their entire lives without even realizing exist, while they continue to complain that there's no space, no opportunity, that the market is closed. The American market is not closed. It is overflowing with opportunities. They are simply located in places that few have the curiosity to explore. But now I need to tell you something that goes far beyond salaries, numbers, and lists. Something consider the most important part of everything we said so far. Because information without perspective changes absolutely nothing. And genuinely care about the people who follow this channel. You've just seen that the American market hides extraordinary opportunities in places few think to look. That there is real, growing, urgent, and documented demand for professionals in areas that the media never highlights. That impressive salaries, life-changing salaries, are entirely attainable for those willing to seek paths different from the traditional. For those prepared to study what few study and go where few go. But here's the most important, honest, An impactful truth can share on this channel: information alone does not transform anyone's life. It never has at any point in history. What truly transforms are the concrete decisions and real actions you take after receiving that information. Action is everything. Action is what separates people who spend their lives dreaming from those who achieve what they dreamed of. So the question that remains, the simple, direct, and urgent question I'm asking you now is, what will you do? Think with me for a very serious moment. If someone had told you 10 years ago that you could build an absolutely solid, progressive, and well-paid career in a field you had never heard of, would you have taken the first step? You probably would have hesitated. You likely would have waited for the right moment that would never come. But today, looking back, you would be very proud to have taken that step earlier when the window of opportunity was open. This is the moment. 10 years from now, you'll look back at this very instant. The right moment to start is now. Not tomorrow morning. Not next Monday. Not when things improve, because they can always be better. Not when you have more time, more money, or more accumulated courage. Now, because the opportunities available today in the American market are very real, and they certainly do not wait for anyone. Many of the careers shared today have something very revealing and important in common. They exist precisely at the intersection of what the American market urgently needs and what few people are willing to study, specialize in, and truly commit to. Not because it's impossible, not because the path is too long, but because most people choose the most obvious route, the most familiar one, the most publicized, the careers that appear in movies, soap operas, and television shows. Meanwhile, GIS specialists, corporate risk managers, food scientists, commercial property appraisers, occupational therapists, actuaries, and all the other professionals mentioned here are building absolutely solid careers, with consistent high salaries and immense job satisfaction, away from the spotlight, away from the cameras, but far above the market average. The secret isn't to do what everyone else does. The secret is to pursue what few know about, what few seek, yet what the American market pays extraordinarily well for. And you've just discovered 10 of those opportunities. Now the ball is entirely in your court. And we've reached the end of our video today, but before you close this window and leave, I'll need to ask you 4 simple, quick, and very important things. First, leave a comment right below this. Tell me which of the 10 careers today surprised you the most, which one you never imagined existed, and which one you're thinking of researching further from now on. Read everyone's comments, reply whenever I can, and love knowing what each person here thinks. You have something to say, and really want to hear it. Second, click like right now without thinking twice. This simple gesture, which costs you absolutely nothing, helps the algorithm understand that this content is valuable, relevant, and important, and ensures it gets shown to many more people who need this information and don't know it exists. Every like you give is literally one more person who might discover a career that changes their lives. Third, and say this is the most important of all, subscribe to the Salary Uncovered channel right now and activate the notification bell. Because every week, without exception, bring content just like this, uncovering salaries, hidden careers, opportunities that the world rarely tells you about for free and without asking for anything in return. And you definitely won't want to miss any of these videos. And fourth, and with this we'll wrap up, share this video. Send it to someone you genuinely care about, someone stuck in a career that doesn't make them happy, who is trapped in a salary that doesn't meet their needs, who is seeking real change but doesn't know where to start, who needs a new perspective on what's possible in the world. You could be the person who changes the course of someone's life with a gesture as simple, small, and powerful as a share. Thank you for staying with me until the end. See you in the next video, and may it surprise you even more than this one.